Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
This is the Jay and Dan podcast. And look at this. This is what I have to deal with. You couldn't get energy drinks. You could go to Dairy Queen and get yourself a chicken wrap. Oh my god.
A magical encounter between human and horse. A big glue glass.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast.
Hey, this is the Jay and Dan podcast, and we're sponsored by Coke Zero tonight.
Coke Zero makes you feel like a champion, unless you're Dan, who's not a champion like me.
Yes, that was not true.
Well, you're just not really the most gifted type athletically. I mean, you sound more like that kid who would finally get his first ever breakaway in hockey and try to put the stick between your legs and go roof, and you trip and fall, break your face and break your shoulder on the goalpost. You know, it sounds right. That sounds about like you, hey Toolsy, or...
I think I've done that before.
That's, we learned about Dan's, the O'Toole family history of injuries a couple weeks ago on the podcast from his brother Vince, who told us about Dan running into a pole and breaking his face, his dad chopping his finger off with a chainsaw, which he didn't cry.
I remember that day.
And we also got a tweet. You got a tweet from your brother saying about how a time that your other brother Sean drank motor oil. This is a completely true story. We're gonna have Sean Oul on the podcast a little bit later. He's our guest. But also, we got Taggart here for another old man story.
I gotta tell you, how about those Leafs game?
Oh my God. Words cannot describe.
4-1 lead in the third period, 10 minutes left.
All right, 4-1 lead. About 10 minutes and... 10
minutes left.
Yep. And then the one time they decided to call a penalty, Joffrey Lupul, holy shit, give me a break. This is horrible. They call him on the weakest penalty ever, yet they can drive Grabowski through the boards 8 times in a shift.
Yes.
They called out the Bruins score. Oh, okay, they got life. And then with like 4 minutes left, Claude Julien, the coach of the Bruins, if you don't know, I don't really know why you'd be listening to us if you don't know sports. And Claude Julien pulls Tuukka Rask, they score again. Oh.
And then 90 seconds, they score 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
90 seconds, they score twice. We're going to overtime in the Boston Garden.
And 6 minutes in, they score.
And JVR, so close.
It was a heartbreak for the Maple Leafs.
Oh, God, but who can blow that big of a lead? Give me a freaking break. God, and we're also, when your brother's on, he's going to be our Canuck insider. He's going to talk about the collapse of the Canucks, first team eliminated from the playoffs. And now all of our hopes on the Ottawa Senators.
I was watching that game, and I was watching my little kids.
You were flipping back between that and DuckTales, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Or the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald, which we talked about on a couple of podcasts ago.
Yeah, my kids, they like that stuff.
Why not, eh?
Geez, you gotta start coming to the bars and watching the playoff games with me, because they gotta be old enough to take care of themselves now, stay home alone, or...
I think one of them's 4.
You think? You don't even know how old your kids are? Oh my God.
Dan O'Toole, Silent Assassin.
This is exclusive. When the Child Protective Services in the U.S. Find out about this, Dan's you're gonna go to jail. You don't even know how old your kids are.
I think it's 4.
And the big news last week, we're going south.
Yes.
And Chris
We're going south.
And the news broke on Friday night. We were trying to get it out on Monday, but somebody broke the news on Friday, so we had to rush it out. Not gonna say any names.
Tim.
Yep. God, Tim just completely blew it. Tim, oh my God, it's just... And they contacted us around the London Olympics is when they came up to us about the idea of us going down there. We're going to be working for Fox Sports. But man, hey, we better crack these. Good one today.
Oh yeah.
Got
So,
Rockstar today.
I think we should get your my brother on the phone here.
Yeah, but we got the Rockstar. We only had two choices. We had the mini Red Bulls and the
Those ones.
and Dr. Pepper.
Those
That's
new ones
the
are
only.
pretty good, hey?
Yeah, but they don't have enough caffeine in it. I'd fall asleep.
Literally.
It's just but man, and yeah, you better get your brother on. Might as well. But man, this is Vince O'Toole, Canucks season ticket holder, and it seems like all he ever does is complain and talk about how much he hates the team he pays money to watch.
Why not, eh?
And just looking it up on his BlackBerry, got eliminated by the Bruins in Game 7 of the Finals 2 years ago, and they lost to the Kings in 5. Oh God, Sean, I want you to tell us about the horrible misfortune of Vancouver Canucks recently.
They suck.
Now, is the consensus in Vancouver fire Vigneault, fire Luongo?
Luongo sucks.
I think we got to keep him out of the net, hey?
Yeah.
Luongo sucks.
God, I can't blame you for not being a Vancouver fan, but how they gotta. Do you think you'd start watching the team again? And if they said, you know what, we're gonna play exciting hockey, we're gonna stop trying to win 2-1 games, or?
Sir, the fact that I had to watch Luongo last night makes me want to go stab myself in the face with a pitchfork continuously while masturbating with barbed wire and sandpaper.
Well, that's a very nice comment.
Why, thank you.
Also, we had your brother Vince on the podcast a couple weeks ago, where he let us in on a story about how you drank motor oil. You want to tell us about that?
Honestly, it tastes like cotton candy.
What? Like, could you tell us how this happened?
I smelled the motor oil and I liked the smell of it, and I didn't want to drink it, so I didn't. But then my daddy pinned me down to the ground and he opened my mouth.
And you put in the garden hose.
Plugged my nose. Yes, Dan was in on this. And my daddy, he dumped it right down my throat.
Why not, eh?
Well, this has been nice, but I think we have to go.
We're a little low on time.
Sounds good. Bye.
God, what is it with your family?
I don't know. Kind of
And
weird.
Sean seems very irritated today.
Yeah,
God,
he's
I mean,
always.
a little pissy pants today, or God, who can blame him about
How about
also-
the new series coming up with NHL?
Yeah, we got we have not figured out what is happening, who's picking up each series. We're still in the midst of the talk with CBC, which is very strange because the playoffs start tonight, the second round. We got Pittsburgh's facing the Ottawa Senators. That one will go to the CBC because they're just ass clowns. They have to take every single Canadian team.
And then we got Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, I hope we get that one. San Jose, LA, that'll be a good series. And Boston and New York. Man, I have a friend of mine. He's watching the game on TSN. And after the Caps came out flying and the Rangers scored that first goal, and it seemed like Holtby just said, you know what? Watch it! I'm done. And that really just sent the team down.
And then the 5-0 win here.
All right, we're running.
Dan O'Toole, silent assassin.
What are you talking about?
Keep going.
And that camera just died. We better go for a break. By the way, this is a simulcast on TSN too, because Undertaker Pitt, or pardon me, HBK Pitt on Twitter said that we should do the podcast live on TV and film it, so that way we can see how much of a goof we look like when we film.
Yeah. All right. This has been nice, and Jay and Dan broadcast.
We're gonna probably go for a commercial break, and Oh, by the way, the swear word bleep. Could you tell us what it is, Dan? Because this is more your job. So I'm the swearer and you're the bleeper.
Well, tonight it will be.
Watch it!
Yeah, me yelling, watch it, before game 1 of the Canucks and Sharks from a couple weeks ago on SportsCentre. Now, man.
Alright.
But now we're gonna go to a commercial break. We'll be back with more of the Jay and Dan podcast. Go take a shit.
Watch it!
Done.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast.
Dance. Dance. Keep dancing. We'll be back with more of the Jay and Dan podcast right after this. Keep dancing while we're gone. Dance. Dance, dance, dance. Keep dancing. Dance, 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 dance. Yeah. Dance. You know it. Keep dancing. Keep dancing. We'll be back with more podcasts